It is a beautiful day. I am headed out to give the chickens some food scraps and putz a little in the garden. It's like a cool 60 degrees, which is just perfect. Ooh, little honeybee trying to land on the camera. All right. Yeah, I'm just hoping to get some stuff done in the garden today. It's gonna be great. I think I figured out where I'm planting my zucchini. I was hoping to fit in about 4 plants, but I think I'm gonna get only 3 in, just so we're not having to step over them to get to everything. I went ahead and I took some of our tomato cages and I just went and I laid them down where the tomatoes are for now, so the kids don't step on them and they're out of my way. We are going to put some of those up and do some strings, but as time, these are just the determinate tomatoes, the ones I don't have to worry about pruning and stuff. Matt made these tomato cages a few years ago at a metal fab shop he worked at. So really awesome to have, and they work a lot better than those store ones that bend so easily. So I'm actually planting my zucchini from seed. Most years we plant plants and seeds, and I noticed that they come up all about the same time. So I'm just planting seeds, saved me a little space before we had our greenhouse, which would have worked great as well. I like to plant about 4 seeds per hill in hopes that most of them come up. 1 more left. I always move the wood chips away from where I'm planting, because I don't want those wood chips to get in the dirt and steal the nutrients that the plant's going to need. And then when the plants start coming up, I pull them back. Matt planted all of our indeterminate tomatoes on these cattle panels. So these are the ones that are gonna need pruning because they can get very tall. We planted them pretty thick. They're gonna need lots of water and they're gonna need some pruning and caring for. So any of these lower branches on the tomatoes, I'm going ahead and I'm just kind of snapping them off. I also have a scissors because some of our tomatoes are already getting really thick. We did pick up some of these from a family member, and hers were quite a bit larger than ours. You can even see a little blossom on this one already, and they've only been in the ground a few days. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those suckers off, everything between the V's. I'm not tying up my tomatoes just yet, but these bigger ones I am gonna kind of weave them into the cattle panel so that they start growing on it rather than on the ground. My daughter just brought me a educational magazine the other day, and in it was talking about plants and specifically tomato plants and when you prune them, scientists have discovered that they let out a shrieking noise, not because they have vocal cords and can speak, but they believe it has something to do with like bubbles inside the plant forming and coming out. It was something I had never heard before, and I thought it was just fascinating. Well, I do have some tomato tape out here from last year, so I might use that to hold up a couple of these. Pretty windy. Anyway, the theory behind the scientists believe that the shrieking is actually coming from bubbles that form when you clip off part of a plant, and it's kind of like a distress signal, and it will actually keep certain bugs and insects from it because they think it's not a healthy plant. This high-pitched noise is so high-pitched we can't hear it. It was saying that insects can hear it. I thought it was just fascinating. Something I had never heard before. Alright, I think I should have been out here a couple days ago. Might have to go find my tomato tape. I thought it was too early for it, but... How do you hold up your tomatoes? I tried this last year for the first time, and I don't love it. I thought it was going to be more like tape, and it's more like plastic, and I don't know, it holds fine. It's kind of a pain to rip off, and I don't typically carry scissors in my pocket. Maybe I just need to start bringing down like a garden bag of tools. That's probably what most people do, huh? I usually have kids with me. It's nap time right now. It's been an exhausting couple of days, and actually all 4 kids fell asleep, so I'm getting to enjoy being outside. Matt's in the basement working. I really want to cut these branches towards the ground to keep the tomatoes off the ground. We know some people who just literally scatter the tomato seeds, leave the tomatoes to grow on the ground, and they grow great fruit. The problem is usually other critters find the fruit before it's ripe enough for us to eat, and that's why we're growing them up. Not even quite sure how many tomato plants we planted. When everything starts coming in, I'll go around the garden and count better, but we know there's at least 120. Does anyone else struggle with pruning or thinning? I saw something once about not being cutthroat enough to prune or thin. And I'm certainly that way with carrots. I'm awful about thinning them. I can't do it. I'm okay about pruning tomatoes because I have my determinant ones I don't have to prune. So even if for some reason I somehow killed all of these, I have those. Oh, my baby monitor must have cut out. Here comes Eli and Daddy. I did have it on. I was listening for him. Alright, looks like I gotta take a break to feed the baby. I got my little helper out here in the shade. He had to be outside the fence. The garden is getting too full of plants to bring the stroller in anymore. So, and he can walk, but barely. He's got the puppy there to protect him. As I'm going through the tomatoes, a lot are too small to really do anything about. I'm trimming a lot of the bottom branches on the big ones, and I'm seeing the occasional sucker, but not too many. Oh, here's a little one. That was our row of big tomatoes. These ones are a little bit smaller, so I probably won't do too much here. Sucker on this one. And these I probably don't need the scissors for. Oh, here's one. growing right on the ground. Here, I have to show you this. Okay. This leaf was growing even with the ground. It's only been up here a couple days. The one on the ground, a little yellow, a little bug damage. Thanks for planting and pruning with me today. I hope you are doing lots of gardening or getting started soon. Be sure to click that thumbs up if you liked this video and click that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. Glad you got to see me again.